Hey everyone, and welcome to another GTA Online Tier 4 Challenge Guide. Today we will be tackling the most annoying challenge yet, the Tier 4 Lowriders missions. And I know I've said that a few times now about the missions being the most challenging ones, but I do think these take the crown for the most frustrating ones of the Tier 4 challenges. So the Tier 4 challenges for Lowriders are the same as the other contact missions: 80% accuracy, complete them on hard mode without using snacks and armor, and taking less than 50% damage. Unfortunately, you are going to need 2 to 4 players for these missions as well, which just adds on to the pain. But we'll start off with one of the easier missions. It's a G thing. You want to use an armored vehicle. If you happen to have the personal vehicle Speedo Custom that you get from the Weapons Expert Tier 4, that is ideal, because using the gun on that does not count towards your accuracy, which is very nice. But if you don't yet have this, you can use the Armored Kuruma. That's completely fine. It'll just be harder to get the accuracy challenge because you'll have to use a pistol. Also, make sure you tell whoever you're doing the missions with not to use snacks or armor on the mission, because if they use them, then it avoids the challenge for you as well. Now, if you have the van, you can have your friend in the back just throw a sticky bomb at the police van and do the entire mission without ever having to leave the vehicle. Gerald will get out of that van and get into your van, and then you can just leave the airport and lose the cops. This is by far the most painless mission in this video to get all the challenges for. Now, for the next 7 missions, before you start it, make sure to buy body armor on the lobby screen, because for some reason, the game gives you armor anyways when you start it. So despite none of us using armor or snacks, the challenges never counted until I figured that out. So I had to do these missions basically twice for them to all count. So just buy the armor on the lobby screen before you press the start button. And with that being said, for community outreach, for every spot, you want to engage the enemies from very far away. You can snipe them if you trust your accuracy, or just shoot homing rockets to blow up their cars and kill them that way. After taking out the second batch of enemies, one will try to run away. You can snipe him or run him over, or sticky bomb him, whatever you want to do, your choice. And after that, you'll have to regroup before going to the final place, and the same strats apply at the final place. Just take cover and spam explosives at the cars and enemies. Taking cover with a grenade launcher and holding the blind fire will allow you to rapid fire it, which is nice. Can get you a lot of kills quickly. On the way back, you will get chased by waves of enemies, so just avoid getting close to them by taking turns where you can to avoid them shooting you to secure that 50% damage challenge. And if you do everything correct, you should have all the challenges complete for that one. In Funeral Party, make sure before you start this mission, you have some sort of weaponized or armored vehicle ready, like the Speedo Custom, the Oppressor Mark II, which is actually preferred, or the Toreador. The first part, you have to be careful and avoid blowing up the vehicle in the back that you have to steal, but you should still be safe to use rockets on this part, or if you have the Speedo Custom, this works well here. Just avoid blowing up that Emperor in the back. When you get to the church, before you get to the cutscene, call in your personal vehicles through the interaction menu so you can use them afterwards. And after the cutscene is over, do not shoot a single bullet. Instead, go and retrieve all of your vehicles and mop the floor with them. Ideally, 2 people should stay on the ground in armored or weaponized vehicles so they can drive the hearses, and the other 2 should be blasting enemies with the Oppressor Mark II. And they should also be clearing out the roadblocks and getting the enemies off the hearses when they are in transit after clearing out the church. All in all, this one isn't too bad, but it does require some team composition and 4 players, which I know can be tough because not everyone has people to play the game with. Moving on to Lowrider Envy, this one is a real pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. The first part is required stealth. If you alert the enemies, you will fail. No exceptions. So you must take them all out silently. One of you will be a sniper, but it might be easier to just have the guy on the ground kill everyone so you don't have to communicate and try to sync shots up. Assisted aim full is recommended so you can target swap easier for kills in quick succession. The stealth part is pretty easy once you get it down. It's the next part where your ass will get blasted, because after you blow up that car, you will get a 7-star wanted level from the ballas, and they just swarm you from almost every direction. So what we did was we tried to rig the spawn points with mines and sticky bombs as much as we could so that after blowing up the car, We could blow up as many enemies as we could to try to quickly get out of there without taking too much damage. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let you put a sticky bomb down and then get near the chino that you have to steal so you can quickly get out right away. So you kind of have to do it the way we did it. And if you do manage to get out without taking tons of damage, then you have to try to avoid more enemies that will try and chip you down on the escape. So like I said, this mission is a pain. In the end, we just barely got out of there with the 50% damage challenge. If I would have got shot like 2 more times, I would have failed it. This one will likely take you multiple tries. It's pretty frustrating. You kind of have to just get lucky and hope the enemies miss their shots when you're driving away. Slow and low is another one that will make you want to smash your controller. And not even for the challenge, actually. Just avoiding the cops is annoying enough. The best way to do it is to stay close to your teammates so that you don't throw off the cop spawns. And you really just can't stay on the same road for more than half a mile, otherwise cops will spawn in front of you and you'll be screwed. You have to take a bunch of back roads and alleyways and drive slow to get by undetected. You can follow the same exact path we do in this video and it should work out just fine. The main thing is keeping an eye on your minimap at all times. Also, avoid the freeway at all costs. There is no easy exit if you get 2 cops spawning on each side of the highway. It's not good. You'll be trapped in a heartbeat. When you get to the objective location, immediately head over to the train tracks and put some proximity mines down. There will be vehicles that drive through here so they can get some easy kills on them without taking damage. And then what I like to do is take cover behind the cargo container right here with the bridge behind me. And you can also switch spots to take cover behind the bridge if you want to when the enemies come from that side. But from there, it's just taking out the waves of enemies that come your way, making sure not to miss any shots to tank your accuracy down. Point and shoot, you're doing a lot of the same stuff you've been doing, blowing up lowriders with homing rockets and staying far back until the time is right. The first part of the mission is easy, you just have to take pictures of the lowriders as they come in. You do have to be somewhat careful right here though, so that you don't blow up the lowriders that you have to steal. And the ones that you do have to steal will change, it's not going to be the same 2 every single time. When everyone is eliminated, you can take the lowriders and you can use the ramp right here to quickly escape, or do what I did and completely choke the jump. Either one works. And just like the other missions, you will get chased down by lots of enemies, so get ready to swerve to avoid them until you make it to Gerald's apartment. Now for the last 2, desperate times calls for. When you get down to Grove Street, you don't want to just drive right in there. You want to park the van down the road a lot and just snipe or rocket all the enemies. Again, the same strats we've been employing on all the other missions. The second group of enemies you'll have to take out from the van because they'll be in transit. Now, depending on how many people are going for the challenges here, you guys can all throw sticky bombs, or if it's just you going for the challenge, I recommend you drive so that the passengers can do all the work gunning them down. For Pedro Carlos, same thing, just pull up and have your friends hop out and take him out while you drive. In Chumash, we're going to use the same strategy of taking out all the enemies from a distance, including the boat when it comes in. And the helicopters on the next part can all be taken out just by pulling over to the side of the road and using the homing launcher as well, or your teammates can light them up with the railgun. But that's pretty much it for that mission, aside from just blowing up the van. Which brings us to the final mission, Peace Offerings. The first part is much easier than the later part. You have to steal 2 Buccaneers that will spawn in at different spots. It's not going to be the same 2 each time. And you're really not going to want to take any damage at this part if you want to give yourself a safe buffer zone for the next part. To lose the cops, you could just go down to the Ellis River. That's what I did, or anywhere where you're not going to get shot by the cops, basically. Because like I said, it's crucial that you avoid damage on this part. Because on the next part, you're going to have to survive an ambush. And this is where it gets tough because you really need to rely on your teammates here. Each person needs to watch a section of the alleyway so you don't get swarmed and flanked. If one person is slacking, you will probably get shot a lot. And I think the best place to take cover if you're going for the challenges is right where I am, behind this blue container. Eventually, you will have to switch over to the other side though, because enemies will come from the other side as well, and you'll be exposed to gunfire from them. You just really have to watch your minimap to see when the enemy starts spawning in on the other side and decide when the best time would be to move. It's mostly going to depend on how competent of a team you have though at the end of the day. Doing this one with randoms probably is not going to work out that well. Even using the same strats I do in this video though, it's still probably going to take you a while to complete this tier 4 challenge, especially if the no snacks challenge decides to not count for whatever reason. That's why I'm always saying to buy the armor before the mission starts, because it always seems to give you armor at the start. And I'm guessing that's what voided the challenge for me, because we had some perfect runs that just didn't count for the no snacks challenge, and we had to redo the entire mission just for that. If you guys enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I want to give a huge shout out to my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.